How do our lungs work? This animation was created using computational models developed at the Auckland Bioengineering Institute. Our lungs can be found within our chest cavity. The main function of our lungs is to get oxygen from the air into our bodies. This process is called gas exchange. Here you can see an animation showing how we create our computational models using computed tomography or CT scans from patients. The process of gas exchange is achieved by bringing air and blood into close contact, so the oxygen can be passed from the air into the blood. Air is carried through our airways, which look a bit like an upside-down tree. The airways are the tree branches, which start quite big and branch into smaller and smaller twigs. At the end of the branches are small balloon-like air sacs, or the leaves. Gas exchange happens in these small air sacs. As we breathe in, air flows along the branches and then through the leaves into the bloodstream. We bring oxygen into the blood and release carbon dioxide. So what happens to our lungs during disease? The most common symptom for people living with a respiratory condition is breathlessness. And this happens because the airways or the air sacs or the surrounding tissues in our lung have been damaged, making it harder to get air into and out of the lungs. And this means that we have to work harder to get oxygen into our bodies. There are different types of lung conditions which can cause breathlessness. One of them is COPD. COPD stands for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Here you can see a CT or computed tomography scan from a COPD patient. In COPD there are long-term changes in the air sacs and the airways which cause obstruction to airflow. This obstruction is because of inflammation and mucus in the airways. This makes the airways become narrower and means it takes more energy to move air into and out of our lungs, similar to trying to breathe through a narrow straw. Damage to the air sacs also makes it harder for the oxygen to get to the blood. Another lung condition is called interstitial lung disease, or ILD for short. In ILD, the tissue of the lungs becomes much stiffer and harder to stretch, and also damages the air sacs. Here you can see a CT scan from a patient with ILD. This condition also results in breathlessness, which is most noticeable during exercise. If you want to find out more about the computational models that we're developing at the Auckland Bioengineering Institute, you can click on the link below. This animation was created through a Medical Technologies Centre of Research Excellence project.